making headlines. President Dr. Moise underscores the crucial importance of learning from the noble moral virtues brought by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The President emphasizes the importance of teachers supporting the government's initiatives related to intellectual development. And the President emphasizes that empowerment of the nation's youth requires a proper understanding of Islam and Maldivian identity in a way that resonates with their mindset.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Mariam Shalshat. President Dr. Mohammad Moise underscores the crucial importance of learning from the noble moral virtues brought by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He made this statement during his address at the official ceremony held to commemorate the day Maldives embraced Islam. Speaking at the ceremony, President Dr. Moise called on all parties to actively participate in transforming Maldivian society into one guided by the principles of the Quran and Sunnah. The President emphasized the importance of learning from the noble moral virtues brought to the world by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, refraining from committing evil acts and working to prevent such actions. He also reminded the people that the Sunnah instructs them not to spread falsehoods or insults and to speak only good and truthful words, highlighting that the way a Muslim society must function is clearly outlined in the religion. President Dr. Moise expressed concern over the current situation of the society. As such, the President noted that the spread of falsehood or insults represent a significant threat to societal cohesion, characterizing such behaviors as deeply ingrained into the souls of Maldivians. He stated that this in turn negatively impacts several individuals as well. Furthermore, President Dr. Moise stated that the spread of falsehood initially began from the Munafiqs in Medina. Therefore, the President urged the people to remain steadfast in their adherence to Islam, in their intentions, words and actions. He also called on individuals to refrain from spreading falsehood and evil acts. Noting that the conversion of the Maldivian people to Islam was driven by the peace and security that Islam brings, the President explained that at the time of the nation's conversion, the Maldives was under attack and persecution by a regional power. President Dr. Mohammad Moise emphasizes the importance of teachers supporting the government's initiatives related to intellectual development, which he stated was equally important to nation building as infrastructure as housing. The remarks were made by the President during the ceremony held to commemorate the day the Maldives embraced Islam. In his speech, which coincided with Teachers' Day, President Dr. Moise also addressed the country's educators, acknowledging their pivotal role in shaping future generations. The President highlighted the need for teachers to instill values such as humanity, discipline and responsibility in students. He called on teachers to nurture young Maldivians with a strong sense of national identity and ethics rooted in Maldivian culture, underscoring the importance of fostering a generation that values hard work, accountability and responsibility. However, President Dr. Moise noted that this responsibility extends beyond educators, urging all citizens to play their part in shaping the nation's future. The President highlighted that moral growth begins with personal responsibility, referencing the Holy Quranic teaching that change starts from within. Reaffirming his commitment to intellectual development as a pillar of national progress, President Dr. Moise referenced his previous address in February, where he outlined his administration's philosophy, which is developing the nation's people alongside its physical infrastructure. President Dr. Mohammad Moise emphasizes that empowerment of the nation's youth requires a proper understanding of Islam and Maldivian identity in a way that resonates with their mindset. He made these remarks during a ceremony held to commemorate the day the Maldives embraced Islam. During the ceremony, President Dr. Moise stressed the importance of conveying the facts of Maldivian history and the country's enduring independence in a manner that young people can easily grasp. He added that Islamic values and Maldivian national identity must be woven into everyday life to fully achieve this goal. Furthermore, President Dr. Moiso highlighted the need to ensure that every young person, regardless of gender, is equipped to advocate for the nation and contribute to its development. The President underscored the necessity of nurturing the moral and spiritual well-being of the younger generation. He addressed primarily focused on the representation of Muslims in Islam and the Holy Quran, the presence of non-religious practices in contemporary Maldivian society, and how people should align their actions to reform these issues. President Dr. Mohammad Moiso confers a special medal, memento and prize for 28 Hafizes for committing the Noble Quran to memory at the highest standard. The medals were presented to the recipients on the ceremony held to mark the day the Maldives embraced Islam. The decision to award Hafizes with special medals from the President was taken in 2014, aiming to encourage the recitation and memorization of the Holy Quran and to appreciate the hard work of Hafizes. In 2014, the medals were awarded to only 3 recipients in the ceremony held to commemorate the Republic Day of the Maldives. Following this, Hafizes have been presented the special medal by the President annually. However, in 2020, the government brought changes to the policy regarding the conferring of special medals to Hafizes, such that those who earn 85% marks and complete the memorization at the highest standard are awarded in the official ceremony held to mark the Republic Day of the Maldives. Meanwhile, the remaining Hafizes will be awarded with a special medal during the closing ceremony of the National Quran competition. Despite this change, President Dr. Moiso has decided to confer the special medals to all Hafizes regardless of the rank. Minister of Divahi Language, Culture and Heritage, Adam Nasir Ibrahim, underscores the foundation of life for the citizens of Maldives is rooted in the sacred religion of Islam. He made the remarks during an official gathering commemorating the day the Maldives embraced Islam. Speaking at the event, Minister Adam Nasir highlighted the most significant transformative event in Maldivian history was the nation's conversion to Islam. He said that this momentous day marked a turning point in the lives of the Maldivian citizens, bringing about profound positive changes. He also described the conversion as a great blessing and fortune for the country. Additionally, Minister Adam Nasir stressed that Islam remains the most crucial aspect of the lives of the Maldivian people. He noted that the Divahi language spoken by Maldivian contains many terms deeply connected to the religion and shared insights into the customs of Maldivian ancestors and their Islamic ties. He also emphasized that the highest truths, action and fundamental values in the lives of the Maldivian people are all rooted in Islam. The Maldives converted to Islam 800 years ago. The 2nd of Rabiul Akhir marks the anniversary of this event, celebrated annually. Minister of Housing, Land and Urban Development, Dr. Ali Haider Ahmad states that 20-year National Development Master Plan will play a pivotal role in developing the Maldives to meet the needs of residents. The statement was made by the minister during the handover ceremony of the Australia's donation supporting the development of the plan.
President Dr. Mohammad Moiso announced the initiation of a 20-year National Development Master Plan on September 17th. The President stated that the master plan is designed to provide a comprehensive framework for the long-term development of the Maldives, incorporating the voices and decisions of its citizens. He also mentioned that it was the vision and strategic plan for the national development of 2025 to 2045. The Government of Australia has donated a total of $609,597 to support the Maldives in creating the master plan. The agreement pertaining to the donation was signed by Minister Dr. Haider and High Commissioner of Australia to the Maldives, David Jessup. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Dr. Haider expressed his sincere appreciation to the Government of Australia for its significant contribution in this transformative developmental initiative.
We would make sure that this will be a very inclusive and participatory process with consultations throughout the country over the next 1 year, which will bring the voices of everyone and the aspirations and the dreams of the Maldivians to a reality through this National Development Plan.
Meanwhile, Ambassador David Jessup revealed Australia's unwavering commitment to support the Maldives, particularly in important situations, highlighting that environmental issues are one of the mutual concerns of both Australia and the Maldives. The ambassador expressed interest in assisting the Maldives in its efforts to mitigate these challenges. He also disclosed that Australia will share its experience to the Maldives when drafting the master plan.
I'm very pleased to confirm the arrangements for Australia to fund a number of international experts who are going to be able to contribute their knowledge and experience to the planning process, specifically in the areas of economic development, environment and climate change, social planning, governance and spatial planning.
The 20-year master plan will be drafted after conducting several comprehensive studies. Relevant information will be collected from all islands of the Maldives separately, with special plans designated to incorporate national-level decisions in certain fields. The government aims to complete the drafting of the master plan within a year, with legal backing provided by a specially designed law.
Minister of Homeland Security and Technology announces new regulations concerning the employment of foreigners in the Maldives, targeting the issue of illegal immigration. The ministry confirmed that these regulations will take effect on October 6th, with user guides outlining the changes available on the expat system homepage.
The new rules specify the procedures to be followed when illegal immigrants are reported missing, as well as the associated fees and penalties. A fee of $64.9 will be charged for each request made regarding a missing illegal immigrant. Additionally, if a work permit holder who is employed goes missing due to employer negligence, a fee of $129.70 will be charged. Decisions have also been made to charge a fee of $648.5 as work permit missing withdrawal services fee if such a request is cancelled. Furthermore, the ministry also announced that if a foreign employer is reported missing, opportunities will be made such that the employer can withdraw the request through the expat system from October 6th onwards. It stated that this opportunity will be open from October 6th to 30th. Any requests which are withdrawn after this period will have to pay a fee of $648.5. Additionally, the same amount will be charged if a request is withdrawn after 7 days since reporting. The government is exerting several efforts aiming to ensure that immigrants are residing in the Maldives in accordance with the law. As such, Maldives immigration and other relevant authorities have been conducting operations aiming to achieve this goal.
Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation Mohammed Amin discloses that over 300 vehicles have been relocated to designated area in Hulumale for unregistered vehicles, pending updates to the registry. He made these comments during a signing ceremony with the Housing Development Corporation HDC for the construction of 15 parking buildings in Hulumale.
Amin acknowledged ongoing efforts to address congestion in Male City, although he noted that visible progress has yet to be seen due to the severity of the issue. He highlighted that many vehicle owners are now working to comply with regulations, marking a crucial step in educating drivers about road traffic laws. The ministry estimates that more than 1,200 four-wheelers are still illegally registered in the city. Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation signed with HDC to allocate a land for the temporary parking of unregistered vehicles in Male and Hulumale until the registry and other matters are amended in August. The land was allocated from Hulumale Phase 2, adjacent to the MACL flats. The agreement notes that the vehicles will be given a period of 6 months to be registered in accordance with the rules. If the vehicles are not going to be re-registered to Male zone, they should be moved to the zones they are registered in within this time frame. The land can only be used for the temporary parking of unregistered vehicles parked on the roads and vehicles registered for zones other than Zone A. The ministry noted that the unregistered vehicles will be given 40 days to be moved to the parking area. It warned that those vehicles that are not moved to the parking area within that time frame will be towed by the police.
Minister of Tourism Ibrahim Faisal highlights the critical role that youth can play in the development of tourism, encouraging them to pursue business opportunities in the sector. He made the call during a panel discussion held in celebration of National Tourism Day, which included several senior tourism officials.
Speaking at the panel discussion, Minister Faisal noted the government's ongoing efforts to expand tourism across the country and stressed the importance of young individuals being well informed about the sector. He also called for equal opportunities for both local and foreign investors in tourism, urging the youth to be bold, enterprising and proactive in seizing these opportunities. Tourism pioneers Hussein Afif and Muhammad Umar Manik also spoke at the event. Afif pointed out that no matter how many financial institutions are built or how many resources are provided, real progress depends on the engagement of the younger generation. Manik added that there are countless opportunities in tourism that young individuals can capitalize on, emphasizing the potential for growth. Meanwhile, Managing Director of the Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation, MMPRC, Ibrahim Shiri, noted the wide range of tourism types that could be introduced to the Maldives, including sports tourism, educational tourism, health tourism, and film tourism. He highlighted the need to establish infrastructure for film tourism and suggested organizing summer camps during the off-season to promote educational tourism. The panel also featured discussions on the challenges facing the tourism sector in the Maldives and strategies to address them as the leaders in the field explored ways to advance and expand the sector.
OECD says that global growth is in the process of stabilizing as the drag from central bank rate hikes fades and falling inflation boosts households' incomes, marginally raising its outlook for this year.
The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, forecasted that the world economy was projected to grow 3.2% both this and next year, nudging up its 2024 forecast from 3.1% previously, while leaving 2025 unchanged. The OECD said in an update of its latest economic outlook, as the lagged impact of central bank tightening evaporates, interest rate cuts would boost spending going forward, while consumer spending benefited from lower inflation.
We have a picture of growth, of resilient growth. Inflation is coming down, trade is doing better, and we know that labor markets are easing. So that basically we have a benign picture in terms of growth, but we still think that growth can still do better. In order to do better, we need to revive investment, and we need to make sure that we have good policies.
The Paris-based OECD said if a recent decline in oil prices persists, global headline inflation could be 0.5 percentage points lower than expected over the coming year. With inflation heading towards central bank targets, the OECD projected that the US Federal Reserve's main interest rate would ease to 3.5% by the end of 2025 from 4.75% to 5% currently, and European Central Bank would cut to 2.25% from 3.5% now. The OECD said that US growth was expected to slow from 2.6% this year to 1.6% in 2025, though interest rate cuts would help cushion the slowdown, trimming its 2025 estimate from a forecast of 1.8% in May.
We can see that consumption is doing fairly well in the UK, and inflation continues to go down, and we continue to think that inflation will continue to go down, which will help real income. So fast wage growth will help consumption, real incomes will recover, and as a consequence, we think that growth in the UK is going to be around 1.1 this year and 1.2 next year.
The Chinese economy, the world's second biggest, was seen slowing from 4.9% in 2024 to 4.5% in 2025, as government stimulus spending is offset by flagging consumer demand and a real estate rut. The Eurozone would help make up for slower growth in the two biggest economies next year, with the nation's bloc's growth forecast to nearly double from 0.7% growth this year to 1.3% as incomes grow faster than inflation.
The UN peacekeeping chief says United Nations peacekeepers in southern Lebanon remain in place, despite Israel asking them to move and provide the only communication link between the country's militaries on Thursday.
The mission is mandated by the Security Council to help the Lebanese army keep the area free of weapons and armed personnel other than those of the Lebanese state. That has sparked friction with Iran-backed Hezbollah, which effectively controls southern Lebanon. UN Peacekeeping Chief Jean-Pierre Lacroix told reporters that peacekeepers continue to do their best to implement their Security Council mandate in obviously very difficult conditions, adding that the contingency plans were ready for both good and bad outcomes.
Protecting the safety and security of our peacekeepers is a responsibility to all parties, and I think it's a message that is very important to insist on, and we also rely on our partners, on the member state, on the Security Council to also relay that important message, which, by the way, they do. Second, the liaison mechanism. Well, this is exactly what enables us to talk to the parties and to convey to them messages to that effect, that, you know, they have that responsibility. Their obligation really is to protect the safety and security of peacekeepers.
The Israeli military asked UN peacekeepers earlier this week to prepare to relocate more than 5 kilometers, 3 miles from the border between Israel and Lebanon, known as the Blue Line, as soon as possible in order to maintain safety. Lacroix said that the mission was continuing to liaise with both countries, describing the mission as the only channel of communication between them. The mission was working to protect civilians and support the safe movements of civilians and delivery of humanitarian aid. The UN peacekeepers operate between Litani River in the north and the Blue Line in the south. The mission has more than 10,000 troops from 50 countries and about 800 civilian staff, according to its website. Israel's military told residents of more than 20 towns in South Lebanon to evacuate their homes immediately on Thursday, as it pressed on with its cross-border incursions and struck Hezbollah targets in a suburb of Beirut.
Britain reaches their first America's Cup final for 60 years, defeating Italy to set up a head-to-head against defenders New Zealand later this month of Barcelona.
There were loud celebrations among the 8 sailors on board the British AC-75 foiling boat after they crossed the finish to win the Louis Vuitton Cup Series over Italy, and with it the right to challenge New Zealand. The British have never won the coveted old mug since it began off the south coast of England in 1851 and have not qualified for the match to challenge for it since 1964. But skipper Ben Ainslie, with the backing of British billionaire Jim Ratcliffe, has built a boat with the help of Formula One team Mercedes that he hopes can go all the way.
Yeah, it's been a while. Look, it's a massive day for our team, and I'll say how proud I am of everyone, not just here on the water, but also back on the shore here in Barcelona and back, you know, we've got a lot of people back in Brackley in the UK helping us on the technical side, so this is for the team.
Ainslie and his crew were joined by Ratcliffe after they were presented with the silverware for beating the Italian crew in a tightly contested race.
An electric guitar played by the late guitarist George Harrison will go up for sale at an auction next month. An
electric guitar played by the late guitarist George Harrison in the early days of the Beatles will go up for sale at an auction in November, where it could be sold for more than $800,000. Brought from a music store in the band's birth city of Liverpool, Harrison played the Futurama guitar in the early 1960s when the band performed the Cavern Club, toured Germany and made their first official records for Polydor. The auctioneers say the Futurama guitar, with its sunburst finish, was one of his most played. They call it one of the holy grails of historic Beatles guitar and said it is expected to exceed its estimate price tag of $600,000 to $800,000. Harrison said the guitar was very difficult to play, but he liked what he called its futuristic look. In 1964, he donated the instrument to a rock magazine as a competition prize, but it remained with the publication's editor when the winner opted for a cash prize instead of owning a piece of rock and roll history. The guitar will be on display at the Beatles Story in Liverpool for the next fortnight before being shown at other museums across Europe. It is due to auction from November 20th to 22nd in the United States.
And that's all we have for you right now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news updates. Have a good day. Goodbye.
relax mind fresh way.
abadu mehe nukume duwe hedi me alunage immune system se bawarugada ve
යාගටන් එනීම එමිහ මජබූරු වානේ දැන් හිබ්බර කොප්ප වෙසකන් පුරා
මෙතන ආදෝනේ වෙන් ඔය දෙහෙ තංගොල සිඳේ
පතිස්නමාද කොල්ලෑන් හෙදුණු ගඩීක ඒ එම්ම රංගලු ගඩී එක